Hello friends. So today I'm going to start unit 7, that is called basic accountancy procedure, and under this chapter we are going to study basic concept of accountancy. So this is the part of Jaiib, and that is containing the book your AFB, that is called Accounting Finance for Bankers. So let us see some basic concept, and in this chapter always reverse question is asked. That means one description will be given and you have to answer what is this concept. Okay, so you have to see the video time and again so that you can understand what is the basic concept are here. So let us start. What is number one is the what is cost concept. So cost concept is nothing but that means every transactions is recorded in the books of account at the cost of price. That is, if machinery is purchased at the cost of, so this will be recorded as the purchase cost only, and this cost includes means expenses on transportation and installation cost also. That means it you will record only. I just take one example here. Let's say one machine is purchased at the cost of rupees 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so cost of machine is 1 lakh rupees, and transportation cost, let's say you are spent 600 rupees, and installation cost is coming 1000 rupees. So you have to add all these values, that means 1 lakh 1600 rupees. So this you will record. That means what is the expenditure on the installation of the machine, or you can say what is the cost of machine. You will record only 1100 rupees. Okay, and later on if future the cost is increasing, so you will not change the cost of machine. That means whatever the basic cost was there, only on that only you will record. And one thing I want to add here, whatever depreciation is there, that will be subtracted on the cost price, because that is also part of the accounting. So this is called the cost concept. I will reiterate here what is the meaning of the concept. That means whatever is the cost of the asset, on that only you will do the recording. In future, if cost is decreasing or increasing depending upon the market value, you will not change the cost. Okay, number next, moving ahead, number is called the money measurement concept. So that means every transaction is recorded in the books of account that must be measured in terms of money only. Okay, in terms of money, that means whatever transaction you are recording, that must be measured in the money. In India, we are every transaction we are recording is only. Okay, so that means whatever cost is there, all transaction must be recorded in rupees only. Let's say I'll take one example here. Manager is sick today, so that means health condition of manager you will not record in the books of account, even though that is going to affect your business, but that will not be recorded. Okay, the laborers have not turned up today, that means number of laborers have come less that was required, so that you will not record. Means you will record only whatever sales has been done in money, whatever wages you have paid, that in money, whatever production has incurred, that is not only the value, means only value you will not on the your kg and whatever is there. Okay, number has got no meaning. That means whatever production has incurred, that must be measured in rupees only. Okay, so moving ahead, next concept is the business entity concept. What is the meaning of business entity concept? That means business is separate from its proprietor. Okay, that means individual and business will not be mixed. So whatever business you are doing, that business is always considered as one entity. Like you may be the owner of any business, but your transaction and the transaction done by your business, two are the separate person. Okay, that's why whatever business entity is there, that is always considered as an artificial person. Okay, that means expenditure incurred by you as your personal things will not be recorded in the business. So whatever expenditure you are incurring, or whatever uh, transaction you are doing for the business only, that will be recorded in the books of account. So this is called the business entity. I will reiterate here, that means your business is always different from your personal. Okay, so that means you are different and your business is different. So in this way, you are one person and business is a different person. Okay, now next, realization concept. Realization concept means this concept tell us when the revenue treated or earned. Okay, it is treated as realized or earned on that day when property in goods pass to the buyer and become legally liable to pay. What is the meaning of realization concept? Okay, that means no future income is considered. Clear? Whatever future income you are going to incur, that is not considered. Income that is in your hand, that is only considered. And but future loss is always considered. So goods sold on approval will not be included in the sales. What is the meaning of realization concept? Means when things are realized, when things are actually realized. Okay, let us suppose that you are running a business and you have sold something. Okay, when actual sales has happened, or it is legally, that means you have contract has incurred. Okay, that means when the things has moved, then only it is called the realization concept. That is why here no goods sold on approval will not be included in the sales. Means you have just approval. Okay, let us say your customer is coming and you are telling he will purchase something in future. Okay, so just he had told he will purchase, but he has not actually purchased. So that will not be recorded in the books of account. So this is the meaning of actual realization. Okay, now moving ahead, dual aspect concept. So in the books of account, every transaction has double effect. What is the meaning of double effect? Means in the books of account, one account is always debited and other account is always credited. Each and every entry has, there is no exception at all. Each and every entry has always double effect. Okay, let's say you are selling something. Okay, you are selling something on the cash. So that means your cash account will be debited and your sales account will be credited, and so on. That means each and every entry will be recorded at two books of account. So one will be debited and other will be credited. Okay, now next is called historical records concept. Whatever entry we are making, that is made as we are recording the history. Only thing is that. That means, and one more concept here. That means when the transaction has happened, then only we do the recording. Any future transaction we don't keep in the recording. So in account, actually past happening are recorded. Okay, that past happening maybe 1 second, maybe 2 seconds, or maybe 1 hour. Okay, even if after 1 second something is happened, you will record. That become the history. Okay, let us suppose that at 10:55 you have sold something. Okay, no problem. So 10:56 you can do the recording, or immediately you can do the recording. That means you can make the entry in the books of account. But let us suppose that at 12 o'clock you are going to sell something. So, but it is only 10:55. So for the future transaction, you cannot do the recording. Okay, that means you cannot make the entry in the books of account. So this is called the historical concept. Okay, now next is called going concern concept. All the business entities are considered as they are going concern, means that it is always considered that entity will live forever. Okay, honor may change, honor may change generation to generation, honor may keep on changing. So it is always considered that whatever business you are running, that will be running forever. That means that remain in the future. Okay, so this concept indicate that a business is going concern and transaction are recorded accordingly. Okay, if the expenses are incurred and it is utilized during this year, it is treated as expense. Otherwise, it is a assets. Okay, we'll do this problem here in the future. That means what is called expenses and what is called the assets. Okay, we'll do separately assets and expenses. Next, moving ahead, accounting period concept. So what is the meaning of accounting period? In India, we follow the accounting period 1st of April to the 31st March of next year. So this is our accounting period in India we follow. Okay, let us suppose that this what is the accounting period is running nowadays. So nowadays it is running 1st April 21 to 31st March 22. So nowadays we are in the accounting period 1st April 21 to 31st March 22. So it is assumed that business will be for a long period. Therefore, accounting period is fixed. Okay, and we always keep on recording as period wise. Then as on 31st March, we close the books of account and we'll start once again. Okay, so this is the accounting period for the Indian system. Okay, some of the other countries they are following 1st January to 31st December, so no problem. But India we are following 1st April to 31st March next year. Okay, next, objective evidence concept. What is the meaning of this objective evidence concept? That means whatever entry we are recording that must have some evidence. Okay, like suppose that you have purchased something, so that must be you are making the entry in the books of account of your company, so that must be supported with the some document. That document may be bill, maybe invoice, tax invoice, whatever is there. Okay, suppose that you are paying for something now, 1000 rupees, you have purchased some raw material for that, so that must have your tax invoice or what bills is there, so that must be supported. Okay, simply not in your mind something is coming and you're recording. Okay, that must have some evidence, so this is called the objective evidence concept. Okay, next, moving ahead, is called double entry system. So we have already discussed here, means double entry system, every entry has two parties and one account must be debited and there must be corresponding entry of the credit. Okay, so both the aspect of recorded in the books of account. Okay, so for one entry we always make entry at two places. This is called the double entry system. There is also called single entry system. So we are not following single entry system. In India we are following the double entry system. Okay, now moving ahead is called the principle of conservatism. What is the meaning of principle of conservatism? Is very very important. This is also known as concept of prudence. Okay, so principle of conservatism also known as concept of prudence. That means as per this concept, anticipated no profit, but we provide for the possible losses. Like something in future, if you are going to earn something profit, so will not take into books of account, but in future if you are going to incur the loss, that means you are going to have some loss, so that must be recorded in the books of account. That means future profit you will not take in the books of account, but the future loss you will take in the books of account. This is called the principle of conservatism. Okay, let us suppose that you are going to see, okay, for one we have two commodities. Okay, you are manufacturing and selling two commodities. Okay, you see this, in the future the cost of this commodity is going to increase due to some market condition, let's say 1200. Okay, and one more commodity, you are same thing, the cost is going to decrease. So that means in this you are going to incur loss, when the first you are going to have the profit. Okay, because due to the increase in the market condition you may, so that means whatever loss is there you must record in the books of account. Okay, but whatever profit you are going to make in future you will not record in the books of account. Okay, this is called principle of conservatism. Okay, so moving ahead, accrual and cash basis. So normally we do recording either on the cash basis or accrual basis. Okay, so this concept makes a distinction between the receipt of cash and right to receive. But this right to receive must have legal receipt. Okay, legal receipt. Okay, it's not that in the you are just going to receive something, you are recording the books of account. Okay, it have some legal right, that we say legal receipt. So and payment of cash and legal obligation to pay. That's why we have incurred the debtor and creditors. Okay, sometimes debtors may be there, sometimes creditors may be there. Okay, so I'll take one example here. Let us suppose that you have purchased something On credit, okay, on credit means that means in future you have to pay something, okay, that means that become your debtors, okay, that means you have to become your debtor. Similarly, you have sold something, so and your buyer had told, okay, after 1 month I am going to pay something, so he become the creditor. So this accrual basis also you can record, but that must be a legal obligation, okay, not simply, है ना? Legal means it must be enforced by the law, है ना? It must be enforced by the law. So that means whatever entry we are making, that must be accrual basis or cash basis. Cash basis means you are receiving the cash or paying the cash. Accrual means right to receive or right to pay, and obligation to pay is called the accrual basis. Okay, so in this way we have studied the basic concept of accounting, and these accounting 100% one question they ask, but they will ask question in the reverse order. Reverse order means they will give the description and they will solve what is this concept. So we'll just reiterate here what are the concept we have studied here. One by one we'll see. So starting with the number one is the called cost concept. So whatever entry we are making, that must be based on the cost concept only. And number two, money measurement concept. We are recording everything in the money only. And number next is called business entity concept. And number third is called realization concept. And next is called is dual aspect concept, means every entry is recorded in the two places. Next is called historical record concept and going concern concept. And next accounting period concept. And next objective evidence concept. And next double entry concept and principle of conservatism is called, and accrual and cash basis concept. So with this we'll finish our class. Thank you very much. Please wait for my next class where we learn how the accounting is made in the books of account. Okay, thank you very much. We'll do very simple method of how you'll record your entry in the books of account. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.